and we will explain the different animals, plants, like things are there. We have explained last week. And here diversity of the beaks of the birds we have done. And I have drawn an eagle also there, right? And the different faces, human beings, if you get the diversity, we can find. And some other features of the human beings, rolling the tongue, shapes of the earlobes, colors of the eyes, about the hair, right? We have understood that is called the genetic diversity. We have discussed that. And the different important for the biodiversity, it minimizes the competition among the living beings, right? Minimizes, we can highlight that much better, minimizes the competition. Right? That's sometimes very large advantages of the biodiversity, because enhancing the beauty of the natural environment, right? Wild genes, endemic species is there, protecting water resources. There's a kubuk-like plant. If you protect water resources, also protected. It's protecting the soil by the plants, climate, and the environment, minimizing the environmental pollution, and to research about the plants and animals for the education, and seeing the plants and animals as an entertainment, like that. That's the main thing of the biodiversity. It minimizes the competition among the living beings. That means they are having the different type of foods and the different places to live like that. Okay. And one thing. And some I have given some endemic species in Sri Lanka, right? We tell the Ceylon blue magpie, Ceylon jungle fowl, and because Simeon monkey or the Rilava, green pit viper, Bandula petia, and the Asoka petia, like these animals. And the threats to the biodiversity because of the volcanic eruption, tsunami, mainly those are the natural reasons. But more than that, children, the human activities is the great threat to the biodiversity, human activity. Today, main threat to the biodiversity is the human activities, right? We have to highlight main threat to the biodiversity. Right? Man destroying forest, he is doing the many construction everywhere, right? Sending chemicals to the environment, war, right? And I explained the genetically modified species. I told that the flies, because actually very difficult to catch that, right? The mosquitoes difficult to kill them, right? And they are genetically modified and introduced. And invasive species, I explained them, right? Spreading, they are coming from the other countries like the Gandapana or Lantina, right? And the Parthenium, and the tank cleaner fish, and the Mannava fish, like things. They are spreading in the environment, children, because damaging the other species. Hot spot, because actually Sri Lanka is also a hot spot, right? It's also a hot spot. Spot 2 times I have written. Sri Lanka, because actually, and the more biodiversity there, and there's a great threat to this biodiversity. Place with the more biodiversity and with the threat to that. Ecosystems, I explained that. Yeah, some pictures I have drawn. One area, plants, living beings, and their non-living environment as the ecosystem there. They are having the interaction among them. These birds get the help of this plant to make the nest. They get the food. Butterfly get the food and help the pollination of the plant. These people also get the food and they get the materials to make their houses. Other animals also same in the same environment. And in the one area, living beings and their non-living environment. Air is there, clouds are there, non-living. Sun, light, heat, right, water, everything, living and the non-living, all is an ecosystem. Right, features of an ecosystem. Have we done this part? We did this part or not, children?
No, sir, we didn't.
Yes. And the topic, children, features of an ecosystem. If you get the features, first look at here. Right. Interaction occurs between the living components as well as non-living components. You can understand because this plant is there, tree is there, right? Okay, tree is there. The tree is eaten by the man. After dying, the man, children, his body, all the liquids, solid, everything go to the soil, children. Right? His nutrients, as the nutrients, his body go to the soil. And the plant, what about that? Plant also after dying, it is coming to the soil. Then again, new plant is absorbing it and growing there. The thing, children, their interaction we are having there. Right? The other one, energy flows through the one-way system. Energy is moving. The sun is giving the light energy and the heat energy. Sun's energy is taken by the plant. There's a grass. The grass gets the sunlight and make the food. Food plant produces having the energy of the sun. Plant gets the energy of the sun and make the food. When the grasshopper is eating the grass, that is also having the energy of the sun. Grasshopper is eaten by the frog. Frog also get the energy of the sun. Frog is eaten by the snake. Snake also get the energy. The energy is going to the one direction, not coming back, children. The energy flows through a one-way system. From the sun to grass, grass to grasshopper, the frog, frog to snake, it is going there. Recycling the matter, I will explain that. Right? This one, matter is, plant matter is taken by the man. Man died and going to the soil. Again, plant reabsorb. Plant is dying, the leaves are fallen. Right? Again, coming to the soil and absorb this plant or another plant. An independent unit. Nothing should come out. It is, everything is recycling there. Interaction between the living components as well as non-living things. We get the water, right? Like that, plants are helping for the water cycle. They absorb the water and giving the water vapor as the transpiration. This water vapor rains again, after making the clouds like that. Things are there, right? Please draw that in and we can consider, children, because I just explained that in an ecosystem they are having interaction occur between the living components as well as non-living components. Right? And the living interactions are there. Right? The birds makes nests on trees. Right? Because actually birds, they are also living, and the trees also living. There's a living interaction or the living relationship. Birds disperse the fruits of the plants far away. Fruits and seed, right? And seeds of plants. Disperse the fruits and seeds of plants far away, right? Because actually plants can't go and plant it away. Then birds eat them and taking there. Animals eat plants, right? Because animals, they are dependent on the plants matter. Predators eats other animals. There's animal. That's also living. Animal eats plants. That's a living. Birds help plants to send their fruits and seeds to the far away. Urine of animals help to grow plants. It is having the nitrogen or urea, right? Actually, the people, they are these days drinking no urea and other things. Those days we remember children, cow's urine, when the cow is going to urinate, because we keep a bucket there, large bucket. To the bucket, we collect the cow's urine. And they drop into the plants. They are growing very well, right? That is having more nitrogen. Microorganisms causing diseases. Right? That's also living. Microorganisms also living. Plants, animals, they are also living, right? Microorganisms causing diseases to plants and animals, right? Please write it down, children. I will give 1 minute for you. Living, non-living relationships or the interaction between the living and the non-living. Animal drinks water. Animal living, water non-living. Plants absorb water and nutrients from the soil. Plant living, water non-living, soil non-living. Because actually plant roots are growing into the soil. Right? That's also same thing. Plants get sunlight for the photosynthesis. Plants living, sunlight non-living. The other one, sunlight is an energy also there, right? You can hear that. And the energy also there, water, soil, other things matter. Sunlight is an energy. Plants get sunlight for the photosynthesis. Number 4, plants absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for the photosynthesis. Plants living, carbon dioxide non-living. Because actually living, non-living, all we need their children, right? Number 5, animals get oxygen from the atmosphere for respiration. Animals living, oxygen, non-living children. Right? Please get another 1 minute to write this children. Right, okay. We'll go to the other part. The other one, non-living. Right? That's also interactions of the relationship. What are the things, children? You can find soil erosion by the rainwater. When the rainwater comes, soil also going away. Weathering of rock. Because weathering of the rock in the smaller class of grade 7 also we have discussed. Rock is breaking into the small particles. Weathering of rocks due to the solar heat and the water. Right? When the sunlight, because of the very hard sunlight, rock get heated. Then sudden rain comes. The rock get cracked there. Rock is breaking into the small pieces there. It takes a longer years, millions of years is taking. Weathering of rock. Rock also non-living. Solar heat non-living. Water non-living. Please write it down, children. 30 seconds is enough for this. Right? Then we are coming to the new part, children, ecosystems. We'll explain what's an ecosystem. There's a living beings are there in an ecosystem. We'll go to the in this ecosystem. Here is an ecosystem, living plants, birds, human beings, and maybe the dogs, snakes. Right? These are the living. The grass, they are living. The different kind of trees, coconut trees, mango trees, and other things. The non-living environment has the clouds, rain, sun, right? Atmospheric air. All are they are non-living beings, and they are non-living environments with the interaction. That's an ecosystem, right? Now we are going to study the different ecosystems. We are talking the different ecosystems in Sri Lanka, right? Some ecosystems natural, children. Some ecosystem man-made, they are artificial. Agricultural ecosystem, paddy field is not natural, children. Paddy field is an artificial environment. Why? Because we have removed all the other plants, children. Only paddy is growing there. Artificial. Industrial ecosystem, the factories, they are really artificial. Human settlement, in the one area they are destroying the forest and making the small houses. Human settlement, highly artificial. But if you get the natural ecosystem, natural aquatic ecosystem, aquatic means ecosystems in the water. Right? We can get the different freshwater ecosystems and the marine water in the sea. Yeah, in the freshwater ecosystem you can find the ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. They are freshwater ecosystems, environments, or the ecosystems, right? Right. Because much better we make it as the ecosystems. And the freshwater ecosystems. The brackish water ecosystems. Right? And the different ecosystems we can, the natural aquatic ecosystems, that means with water, freshwater ecosystems, rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, like things, freshwater, marine water. You can find the oceans, sea, bay, right? And the brackish water ecosystems, there. Brackish water means the between the fresh water and the marine water, right? This a little smaller. Fresh water and the marine water there. And brackish water. In the lagoons, estuaries, we can find the brackish water here. And the natural terrestrial terrestrial means on the land. We can find the forest, grasslands, like thing. They are on the land there, children. Right. Please mark it there, children. I will add 2 minutes for you, right? I gave you 4 minutes to draw this one, okay? Please draw if you have finished it early. Please tell me that you have finished it, okay? Right. We are going to discuss natural ecosystems. Right. Right. Savitu, join now. We are talking about the different ecosystems, right? And the natural aquatic, that's the water ecosystems with the water, right? Some natural aquatic ecosystem, freshwater ecosystems, marine water ecosystem, brackish water ecosystems. They are aquatic, right? Then natural aquatic environment or the natural aquatic we write as the ecosystems. Better. Much better, right? This we are given as the environment, but natural aquatic ecosystems. Then if you get what will happen, children, is natural aquatic. That means the ecosystems with water. We can basically classify the natural aquatic ecosystems. Right? They are given as the environments in the book, but actually much better ecosystems. As follows, right? Natural aquatic ecosystems. Then, right, we can get freshwater ecosystems as the natural. Aquatic means the ecosystem with the water. Freshwater, river, they are nearby the river, children, both sides of the river Rhine. And the inland water reservoirs, Victoria, Randanigala, that is wetland areas, children. Marshy areas, some wet areas, ponds, lakes, like things we have to get. Right? But in the lesson, children, we are talking these things. And the saline water, marine water environments, right? That they are with the marine water ecosystems there, right? Marine water ecosystems. They are having the marine water, ocean, right? Bay, and sometimes sea, right? It's a Black Sea and the like thing. Dead Sea, like the sea there. Brackish water, mixture of the fresh water and the saline water. Lagoons, estuaries. Estuary means the place where the river meets the sea. Sea is having the saline water and the river is having the fresh water. After mixing them at the estuary, it is having the brackish water. Right? Ocean, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and the bay, and we can tell as the seas. Ocean and the sea different. Sea is an inland one, children. Right? Please write it down, children. Write it down, children. How many minutes you want, children? 3 or 4 minutes. I let. Right. Okay. I will add 5 minutes to write it down. Okay. Let's take the time. We'll discuss then these freshwater environment, children. A river, right? You start at the water catchment areas, in the central hills. In the Sri Lanka, the rivers I started in the central hills, right? Because at the Sri Pada, that area, they are starting. This was the central hills, water catchment area. They are that mountains, children. They are storing more water. They are, children. In the dry season, they are leaking the water downwards little by little. And the mountain forest, right? River, what are the advantages of the river? For agriculture, we get the water. To generate hydroelectricity. For the transportation, some boats things, they are going in the rivers of Sri Lanka. River Rhine, right? Area of the both sides of the river is known as the River Rhine. River Rhine found from the starting place of the river up to it meets the sea, right? From the starting place to the estuary, we can find the River Rhine. The both sides of the river called the River Rhine. Following ecosystems are found in the River Rhine. The River Rhine is also an ecosystem. Sub-ecosystems are there. Flood plains, the flood coming, the area, the flood coming. One called the Villu. Villu means, children, during the flood, it is filled with the water. With the dry season, it is growing the grass. Elephants are coming to eat the grass of the Villu. Some areas, sandy lands. some area we can get the marsh lands, right? There, right? The different ecosystems are there, right? Muddy lands. Advantages, freshwater fisheries, we can catch the fish. And the brick industry, we can get the mud to make the brick, and the tile, and make the pots, like industries we get. Inland water reservoirs, that called inland waters there. Right? There's some large tanks like in there, natural ponds, natural lakes. Man-built tanks are also known as the inland water. Water reservoir. Lotus like aquatic plants and the aquatic animals like otter can be identified in the inland water. Right? Because otter, what the otter in Sinhala, children? Right? In Sinhala it is known as the Diyaballa otter. Right? Because in that case, for the inland water, they have ponds and the lakes added. We will remove it from the other, right? As ponds and lakes added to the, here we can consider under the inland water reservoirs, we remove it from there. Please remove that. I wish you all right. 5 minutes, I let. Right, I have added 5 minutes. Please do it. Right, the wetlands, children, we are talking. Most wetlands are having the fresh water, right? Because actually, paddy fields also we can consider as the wetland, and the Muthuraja Vela, right? Like those area, most wetlands are having fresh water, but some wetlands are having the saline water or the brackish water. Mainly, wetlands are covered by the water for the long period of the year. Mainly, yeah. Advantages of wetland: control the flood. You can understand for the paddy fields or the lowlands, children, right? This wet, after rainy, children, all the water is going there. In that case, the place where the human beings are there, human houses and other things are there, not damaged by the flood, right? They are going to the wetland. But today, what's happened? People they fill the wetlands, right? And constructing the houses, then they are taking the flood problems like that. Wetlands, there should be there, water falling, and finally it's going to the wetlands after the heavy rains there. Paddy fields, one example, and the Muthuraja Vela, right, like that area, we can identify as the wetlands. Fisheries, right, and the fish are also there in those wetlands, we can get. Maintain the biodiversity, many living beings are also there, and some birds are also coming to remove the toxic matter in the water, right? That one, children, because the water, they are having the toxic matter, they are absorbed in the soil of the wetlands, minimizing the climatic changes. That's also happening with that. Right? Advantages of the wetland. Some migratory birds are coming to the wetlands. And maintain the biodiversity, right? Migratory birds are coming to the wetlands, right? And toxic, and minimizing the climatic changes. Right, another child. We are discussing the lesson, children, right? And we talk about the wetlands. And please write it down, children. How many minutes you need? 3 minutes. Right. I'll add 3 minutes for this, okay? And if you are getting late, children, you can get the recordings, okay? I'll send the recording for you. Right. Please write it down, children. Last week recording I was unable to send there, but I will send it. Okay. Right. We will discuss about the saline water environments, the salt water, sea water, right? we are going to study the two saline water environments, because actually they have not added to the syllabus C, right? It's called the Black Sea, Dead Sea, like, because these are not in the Sri Lanka there, right? Ocean and the bay around the country, children. Ocean, our country is situated in the Indian Ocean. The largest aquatic environment is the ocean, right? That's the very important we have to highlight. Ocean, largest aquatic environment. Environment is the ocean. That is covered about the 4/3 of the Earth's surface. See? Largest aquatic environment. The advantage, salt industry, we get the rich biodiversity, large number of animals and some algae like plants also there, seaweeds, fisheries, right? Tourist industry, transported ships, right? They are transported there. Generating electrical energy with the sea waves, children, we can generate electrical energy, but Sri Lanka has not started such a one yet there, right? To generate the electrical energy, we can get. And the bay, children, right? The bay is the larger one there, right? They make a big mouth there to the land. That's called the bay, right? And the other one, if the mouth is smaller, that is called the estuary. In the other page, I'll show you that the Baticlo lagoon. It makes a lagoon. So not the estuary, a lagoon. It's with the smaller mouth there. Bay and the lagoon. Bay, you can get the large mouth. See? But if you get the lagoon, small mouth, and it is also covered with the sand. The mouth is small and much part inside the land, children. In the land side, there's a lagoon. Mouth is small mouth. Baticlo, one example, right? It's a bay. Mouth is like Trincomalee is a bay, right? The bay, right? We can find as a natural harbor. Trincomalee is a natural harbor. The Trincomalee Bay example. Please write it down, children. I'll add 4 minutes with the drawing, children. But I have added said 4 minutes for you, right? Yeah, I said that. Right? Again, right? You continue writing, okay? For this page, right? Brackish water, we can get 2 examples: lagoons, estuaries. Right? The lagoon, if you get, is a sea. It is entering to the land with a very small mouth. The bay had the big mouth. Right? The lagoon, land area, and the lagoon there. It is having the brackish water because there's a sand barrier. That's called the sand dune or coral reef barrier there. Water going, but it is coming out also little less there, right? And the advantage of the lagoon, we can get the brackish water fisheries. Prawns, we can get lobsters, crabs, oysters, like fish they are catching. And the sea erosion is prevention, because here sea is not directly coming to there, and because the mangroves like trees are there, trees with the great date we have studied, trees with the still root, respiratory root like that. Here this is a narrow area. This area also we are having the mangroves. In that case, erosion is not happening. And the tourist industry, tourists also like to having the boat tours and fisheries like in these areas. As an example, we can get the Baticlo and the Negombo Lagoon, like example. I write some examples. Patrick Blow. And Nigombo Lagoon. Okay, please do it. We have come to the estuary. Estuary means the place where the river meets the sea. Here, this is the land. A river is coming and joining to the sea. This estuary, this place here, this river is divided into the two. It's estuary, but I have especially added to here when the nearby the sea, some rivers, especially sometimes Kalu river, it is dividing into the two. The middle area is called the delta, and that is a very fertile area, children, because this flood also coming. Here also flood coming. When the flood is over, children, all the nutrients coming along the river deposit there. Very good for the agriculture. This delta area there. Right, extra I have added the delta there, and the river meets the sea at the estuary. That is also the brackish water. The place at where a river and the sea meets is known as an estuary. Advantages for fisheries. Right, here prawns, lobsters are also there. Delta is having the fertile soil for agriculture. Yes, I have added there. This middle area called the delta. For the tourist industry, many tourists are coming to this estuaries and the delta area. Right. How many minutes children you want? Okay. I have added 4 minutes children. Okay? After finishing, please tell me. And the aquatic environment, we have discussed those things. And the terrestrial environments means the environments on land, they are children. As well as terrestrial. We are two environments we are discussing, forest and the grasslands, and the ecosystems should be there, but they have the book or somewhere they have given as the environments. In the forest, different forest and the grassland, we are talking the different forest, tropical rainforest, right, with the more details we are discussing, and the mountain forest in the mountainous area. And the dry mixed evergreen forest, that means the forest in the Anuradhapura like area, children, dry mixed evergreen. And the thorn bushes and shrublands, that means children, because Mana, Hambantota like area, children, it's a desert like area we can find. Another name called the thorny shrubs and wood. And the tropical rainforest, we are telling at the tropical lowland rainforest, right? I have marked that low rainforest. Or sometimes we are telling wet evergreen forest, right? For the same thing for the tropical rainforest. Normally we are looking at the tropical rainforest, and sometimes we are looking at the tropical lowland rainforest, wet evergreen forest. Mountain forest in the Piduru Talagala, right? Those areas in the forest, we are telling called the mountain forest, the Sripada area forest, right? And the Anuradhapura like area forest, dry mixed evergreen forest. And the Mana, Hambantota area, thorn bushes and scrublands. Normally we are telling as the thorny shrubs and wood. And the grasslands we can consider as the Patana and the Talav, right? The Patana we can get as the dry Patana, wet Patana like that. Okay? We will discuss those what's the difference between the Patana and the Talav, right? We have to because these things next week with the more details we are talking that. Okay? Right. Now, please mark that concept map about the natural terrestrial environment, children. I give 4 minutes like that, children, for you. It is about 4 minutes for you. And the concept map for the lesson.